Hello, everyone. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and we are going to go back to that project which we were struggling with, which is this JavaScript one. Okay, so we have this JavaScript, well, this is EJS, but we have this JavaScript uh, folder project that we are trying to get the two databases to be able to be connected. Now, the problem that we're facing is that we have this like, let me come down here. So we have company and we have people, and I'm trying to be able to connect company and people. Okay, so that's kind of the context. Let me just run, let's see, this, how do I, okay. First, I need to remember how do I actually start all my stuff. So, not here actually. Let me come here. This is my JavaScript one, right? Okay, so how do it was like brew start services or something. How do I start my MongoDB database? I'm trying to get back into the thought, because I haven't done this project in like a week and a half or something like that. So I need to refresh myself where I was and what's going on. So, okay, how do I start this? Yeah. And then I will also need to actually just run it. Let me turn the brightness up a little bit. Where is that command? I thought it was something like brew start service. Something like this. Okay. Brew start MongoDB community. Okay. So I'm going to copy and paste that in. Okay. But like, what's the difference? Like, what's the difference between doing that and what it was telling me, which is like this one? Mongo daemon, okay, and then this one is like Mongo. What are the differences between these? Okay. So I'm gonna run this, okay, and it should work, okay, and then we'll get a little thing up here telling us that it's running. And then I'm going to start my server. So that one is nodemon, and then server.js. Okay, so we're running here. Okay. So now I should be able to come here, and let's just refresh this. Okay, so we get this. Awesome. We're communicating with everything, so it's working. Now let's go and try to understand what's happening here, and then from this we'll be able to start to remember what problems we were having. Okay, so the brew services start MongoDB community. What it does, starts MongoDB as a background service using macOS's launch control. Why is it used? So MongoDB runs automatically in the background even after a reboot. Okay, when to use it? When you want MongoDB to always be available without manually starting it every time. Oh, hold on. So starts MongoDB server process manually. Why is it used? For development or debugging when you want full control. When to use it: if you're not using brew services, you want to use run MongoDB temporarily in a terminal window. Oh, I actually think that's the one that I want. Let me try that. Control C. So we're going to do this one, not this one. We're going to do this one, and then we're going to do stop. Okay, we're going to do stop. And then what we are going to try is MongoD. What was it? MongoD? Is that it? MongoD. Yeah. Ooh. Never mind, we're not going to do that. We're just going to do this one. Okay. Start. There. Okay. Okay, whatever. It's not important actually. My goodness, I remember. This project just keeps like growing and growing and growing, and now I'm trying to like. I have so many different random files now. Okay. Delete company, find company, submit company. Oh my goodness. So I have this employees. So here's my employees and here's my people. Here are the schema in MongoDB. Okay. So a person can have a company. Okay. And now on my company, it's a list of people. Okay. Now, how do I want to go about doing this? So I have, right, it was, okay, here's the endpoint, company find company, which is here. Okay, so I am finding the companies. Right here, and then rendering all of those companies to my EJS file. Okay. So now I want to go away. Go away. Now I want, so this is company. This is like, okay, so Amazon has here, and I want to add people, right? So submit company. I have this. Where was my submit company? This is an endpoint, right? I don't know what that is. Okay, what's this? Okay, so I come here and I say my company, okay, market cap is like that, and then submit company. Hold up. Do I need to do the node mon? Oh, right, okay. Okay, so my company, and then market cap is 24, so I come here, and I have this, like my company, market cap, and then here's the object ID, okay? So and then the arrow, which is right here. So I hit that, but now I need to, okay, so here's the company ID. Now I need some way to connect people to companies. Just here. Okay, so that's what I need. All right. How can I do that? So I should be able, let's see. let's see if I have my company here. Yep, so my company 24, awesome. And then I can do delete, and it deletes it, right? Then I refresh this page, it's still not there, so I'm able to delete it. Okay, cool. That's still working. Good. All right. So let's figure out how we want to get this. I'm envisioning, so people list, and I'm envisioning here that I have person name, okay, and so I type my name, like whoever it is, like John, right? And then their age is like 44. And then for company, I do like a drop down and I select the company. Okay. So I need to go to this page right here, which is what? I believe this is people company. I believe it's this one. So submit person and submit company. And then I want to be able to, in this one, in submit person, I want this to actually be like a drop down. So person's company. Okay, so let's come here. Is it this one? Yeah. In EJS, I I want a drop down. I want a drop down that gives me all of the items in my database. Okay, so all of the companies in my database. Okay, so let's see how it suggests I go about doing this. So this is actually kind of good because it does teach me how to do a drop-down menu. I imagine that the drop-down menu is going to have something like when you click on it, it triggers an event or some. Well, I don't want to use event because event is like whatever the Vue.js, right? Like event handlers. So it's not really like that, but it triggers a query of the database, and then I need to grab the IDs based off of which one they select, and like I think there's going to be a lot that goes into that. So on one hand, we can look at it like it's an awesome opportunity for us to learn. On the other hand, sounds like a lot of work. All right. So but that's kind of like why I'm happy about doing these projects is I'm starting to feel like okay, I'm really advancing my knowledge and understanding of a lot of these concepts because before I was just like completely in the dark about all of this, and even though I'm making a ton of mistakes, I'm not exactly knowing where I'm going. I feel like I am making a lot of progress. And now, so I'm doing the JavaScript one, and now I'm doing my Java one. And I've noticed that a lot of the concepts and ideas that I'm learning here in this one, I'm actually able to reuse in my Java one. Like for example, these EJS ones. Well, that's just rendering a web page, right? It's the exact same thing that happens in Java. So all of a sudden, I'm able to leverage my knowledge in one project to be useful in the other project, and I'm like, whoa, okay, that's really cool, and I feel significantly less lost in my Java project than when I started in this project. And I feel like I'm able to move much quicker in my Java project because I did this JavaScript project. And so I feel like I'm moving much faster and I've progressed, which is awesome. Okay. And it has to do not only with like learning the big concepts, but also learning those little concepts like how to do a drop down and how to do these silly little things that like individually is not very complex or difficult, but if you have 20 of these that you don't know, well now all of a sudden it actually is overwhelming. But now, okay, how to do a drop down. That's just one little thing, but it's now going to be out of my uh, a thorn out of my skin, right? Like it's not going to be in there anymore. So let's get it. All right. So to create a drop down in EJS that lists all companies from your MongoDB database, you'll need to number one, fetch the companies from the MongoDB in my express route. Okay. Pass them to the EJS template, render them as option elements inside of select. So first thing I'm wondering is, did I already no, I think I did it to submit company, right? Like when I do submit company, I get all of the company. No, I didn't pass in all of the companies here. Where did I pass in all the companies? I did that in here, all companies. Find and delete company. Okay. So how did I pass in that? So companies. Okay. I'm gonna have to see how I rendered this web page here so I can understand how I got those companies. Should be here. No, shouldn't be there. Company routes. Okay. Find company, maybe? Find and delete company here. Companies, list of companies. Okay. So, take a few seconds to breathe for a couple moments, relax my brain, and then hit back on it. Oh, all right. So I am rendering this EJS file and I'm passing in one parameter, which is companies, and called companies. It's a variable called companies, and it is a list of all the companies. Okay, and that comes to here. And now companies matches this keyword. Okay, and I can do this for each. Okay. So now what I should be able to do is in, was it people route? Company, what was it? In this one, what people company address? I think it's in here. All people, delete person. Was it? It was submit people, right? Okay. In routes, I should have User routes. Come on. I'm looking for this web page. Submit entity. Okay, so I have my submit entity and I render this people company address, which is here. This EJS, right? Okay, and I want to pass in all of those companies. Okay. First question is, do I have access to company here? I don't think I do. Okay, so I need to, it was like import company from here, but I don't know if that actually works because I haven't quite done it yet. Like I haven't, it's creating it. I don't know. We'll see if this crashes. Yeah, I thought it does. And then just to make sure if I do this, it works. Okay. So, what I'm thinking that I can do is instead of having this here, what I can do is maybe I need to create a new route. What if I have it a little bit lower? What if I have like, I don't know. What if I have it right here? Does that work? No. Okay. So this is going to be whatever, like, what do I want to put it under? It's not really people, it's not really company routes. It's like, I don't know. This one would be adding. What do I want to call this? Routes. Handler.js. Okay, and now handler.js, we need to do these imports. So I need to import express and I need to import company. Okay, come here. And then I need to export, so I'm going to create a router. So const router equals express dot router. Was this the way to do it? Let me come back here and check. Const router equals express router. Yep. All right, so now we have router.get, and then I'm just gonna do this web page here, okay? And then request response like this, and then within here we'll have our handler, okay? Then we need to do those exports. So we come here and export default router. Okay, so export default router, okay? Now I need to capture this up here, so I can do import handler routes from s source, then routes, then handler.js. Okay, so now handler routes here. I'm gonna do, so we want to replace this one actually. So instead of this, we want what? App.use, okay? And then create entity. Create entity, okay? And then we want to do handler routes like this, okay? And now I don't want this submit entity anymore, but I'm gonna keep it around for a little bit. So I want this create entity, and whenever I do that, it will come into here and run this one. And I want this to render the same EJS file, right? So now I'm gonna come in here and try to do create entity. Okay, so we did get this. That's good news. So now from here, I should be able to get the company. Okay, so, and I think this now needs to be asynchronous. Async. So I will do whatever, await, and then const all companies equals company.find, like this. I believe maybe my await needs to be here. Await here. And then maybe it's like that. I think so. And then come in here and I pass in the EJS, right? So I'm gonna call this all companies here, and then all company. Can't see it, hold up. All companies, it's this one, right? Yep. So it's called all companies, and then I pass in this list. Okay. So const new, wait, no, that's not the one that I'm looking for. So it is like await and then the thing that we're doing. But I'm trying to find here, const all people, and then await all people find. Yeah, okay. And then I just render like that. Yep. So I think this is good. Now within this one, I need to actually like accept. I think it already accepts it. I just need to like work on that drop down. Okay. So to create a dropdown in EJS that lists all the companies from your MongoDB database, you'll need to, number one, fetch the companies from MongoDB. That's what we do with the find. Okay, pass them to my EJS template. I already did that. Render them as option elements in the selection dropdown. Okay, so now const company name, await company.find, and then these parameters. Okay. What are these parameters doing? Ultimately, I want to have the user be able to select a name, and this will allow them to attach a person to an existing company. So I will need to keep track of the name and the ID. I will need to keep track of the company name and the ID. Okay, so we're gonna ask that question, and we'll just go down and just see what it's saying, and then figure out where we need to change things. Okay, so this fetches all companies and passes them to my EJS view as companies. Yep. Replace the text input with select. Okay. So I'm going to come here, and where's my select? So that's a lot of stuff. Select. Okay. Let's see if it works first off. So instead of this one, we want a select, okay? Like that. Now, select a company and companies. I think I called it all company. So here's the name right here. All companies for each, and then company name. So first off, let's just run this and see if we get a drop down. It's number one. Okay, it is a drop down. Look at that. Look at that. And why are these blank? Because they don't have a name. That's why. But I have company 2 and I have Amazon, and I created a company called My Company, but I deleted it. So I'm going to say my other company has a market cap of this. I'm going to submit that. Okay, cool. Now, do I need to reload it maybe? Reload it, and then my other company. Okay, so this is something that we need like this works right here. So this is kind of something that we need to investigate and understand more, because it's one thing to just copy and paste it, which is what I just did. It's another thing to understand, like, okay, well, how is it doing this? So I'm going to take a sip of coffee, take another 20-second break, and then try to understand what I just did and go into it here. So. All right, so we have this select. So here's the opening, here's the closing. So this is a select element, all right? And we're attaching an ID called person company. So this is how I'm going to be able to identify this element. Okay. So then I can do option. Here's the closing. Value equals, and then select a company. So when I come here, it should just say select a company. Yep, so it says select a company, okay. And then these are the EJS ones. So this indicates that it is a code that we're doing. So notice how there's a opening bracket, %, and then nothing. And then sometimes you do open bracket, %, and equals. So if you see the equals, we're passing in a variable. So company.name, that's a variable. Okay. Or just inputting a name. But if we see nothing here, that just means that we're doing some kind of like logic. We're doing code. So what are we doing? We're operating on this all companies list, and we're doing for each. So we're just getting each element in the list. And then what are we doing? We're calling that company and then doing this. Okay. So we're creating an option. So I guess when we click it, we're doing this, right? Okay. So that works. And now submission logic. So make sure submit person function grabs the selected company ID. So now I'm guessing that we are going to have to look at the ID of the value which the user selected. So I am going to be very curious about how to associate those things together. I think it has something to do with like the ID value or something like that, right? Like, does company.id get passed in, or like how does that work? Okay. I'm also noticing that I have the ID right here and I have the company name right here. So, okay. Value equals this, okay. So I can do person company is document and then get element by ID person company dot value. So this person company and then dot value. Let's print that out. So submit person. So let person, company. Oh, we already have something here. Equal to document dot get element. Whoops, get element by ID. There we go. And then what is the ID that we want to get? We want to get that the element inside of this selection. Okay, and then we want that value. So we have here, and then dot value. Okay. Now, does this return like a string, or because it's the company name here and then company ID. So value is going to be company ID, but it looks like it's a string. Okay. Then I should be able to do like, and then I put in the company, the person's company. Okay. So then I send this to the submit people. So people routes, okay, and then submit people, which is here, and then request body here. But this needs to match. All of those items need to match my schema in people. So person company like this, right? That needs to match. Not this. Person company. Okay, so it does match. Okay, let's try it. I'm coming here. So person name, Timothy, my age, let's see, I'm gonna say I'm 88, and then company here, submit person, okay. So now I see this here. I don't know if that's correct. I need to go to people. I'm going to reload this. I should, I see all of this, but I don't know if that's actually, don't know what, so I put myself as Amazon, right? But I don't know if, like, I don't know what Amazon's ID is. I just see whoops. I just see a random. Okay, employees. So there's two. Okay, that's kind of what I expect. It's IDs here. In all people. So I want to people routes, okay. All people. Okay. Wait, that can't be right. Who to delete, okay. Who to delete, and then it's find and delete people. Okay, find and delete people here. So now, person company, can I just go dot name? Well, so like company, and it's just name. That's the field that I want. Where is it? I don't know. If this works, I'm gonna be really excited. Come on, please. Darn. company person company dot name, right? But it liked it if it just said person company. Yeah, it likes that, but it doesn't. So I am acting, I think I know why, because I'm acting on the people database, right? And I'm just having a reference to company. I'm not actually, oh my goodness, okay. So I need to now go and try to like dereference this company here. First off, can I see, did I do anyone that says like, I wish I saw what is Amazon's. Did I do one that is just like return all? Let's just do that. Let's company routes, okay. I want to find company, render. I want to render all. So router dot get, it's going to be a get, okay, and then the endpoint is going to be all company info, okay, and then it's going to be request response like this, and then I'm going to say response dot send, and I want to send all of the response dot status 200, okay, dot send, and then I want to send the JSON of all of the people or all of the companies, right? So I want all company info is equal to a await, and that means I need this to be async. Okay, so await, and then company dot find, okay, like this, and then I want to send all company info dot JSON. Well, how do I JSONify it? Okay. So JSON and then the data. Okay. Company routes. Hold on. All company info. Send. So JSON. Is that how it? Hold on. Under little JSON. Response.json. Okay. JSON, and then all companies info. Okay. So now I want to copy and paste this, go into my router, try to find out so company and then that location. Okay, so localhost 5000, and then in here company, and then there. Okay. Wonderful. All companies is not defined. Great, just what I was hoping. Okay. Is not defined. Oh, 'cause it's const. I don't know. Okay, here, cool. So now I want to find Amazon. So my other company, okay, here's Amazon. I want to find the ID and I want to see if it matches what I have for myself. So here's the ID. Okay, and now 686099. So I come here to people 686099 F. Okay, and then I'm gonna look here. 657 A4B. 657 A4B. 657 A4B. Okay, we connected them. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. Oh my goodness. Okay. We we got it. Okay, we were able to connect the two together, and I'm I'm gonna have to go continue to, play with these concepts and try to like understand, and the more I play with it, the more I'm going to be comfortable working with it. But I'm really happy that okay, we were able to get the basics and we were able to get something to work and we were able to kind of understand a lot of that process. I'm really happy with the results of this video. So I'm going to leave it off here, and then in the next video we'll continue playing around with stuff, and there's other stuff that I really want to do in this project. Like, for example, I know that I want to do like authentication. That was another thing that I want to do. So I think that there's something like, was it web tokens or something? I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm curious on how to move forward and things that I want to do for this project. So if that's interesting to you, subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you around on the journey, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I'll see you very soon.